Hello and welcome to Leeds Hacks News. I'm Owen Tyree.
And I'm Lauren Halligan. Here are today's headlines.
A new course is being trialled to educate people about African cultures.
With Christmas coming up, which trees are greener? Real ones or plastic? The general election is underway as voters head to polling stations across the UK. This is the country's third general election in less than 5 years and the first to be held in December since 1923. The polls are open until 10 o'clock tonight, so make sure you remember to get out and vote.
A new study has shown that around half of graduates are not working in their industry of their chosen degree.
It is becoming increasingly difficult for graduates to stand out from other candidates and achieve a job in their field of study. Meg Wilson, graphic design graduate at Leeds College of Art, volunteered at Art University and now works in graphic design for Hope House Leeds.
Well, it started at uni. I started volunteering for MAP charity, doing screen printing of cards and merchandise for coffee. I think working whilst studying was really difficult, but to gain the contacts that I needed, that's something I had to do. And I found a lot of my friends that didn't do any kind of work experience during uni are finding it hard to get a job now. Just trying to get contacts and stuff in the industry, you're not going to get that just going straight into a career. You need to kind of gain that throughout internships or volunteering like what I've done.
Now, joining us in the studio is Careers and Employability Advisor Michael Hall. How can graduates make themselves more employable?
The first thing I would say is that at Leeds Beckett, the support is open to graduates for up to 5 years after they've completed their studies. That's both digitally and physically, so they still have access to My Hub to look for vacancies and online resources that we put on there to help with graduate job searching. And they can also come back in to attend any of our careers events and speak with our careers advisors. But also what I would say is that if you haven't got a graduate job immediately after university, that's okay. It's about thinking about what are the transferable skills that I'm gaining from. It might be a job that they've taken to go full time, something that they were doing part time while studying. What are the transferable skills that I've got that I can use in a graduate job? And also what I would say is think about things like work experience, internship, volunteering. If there's a particular area of an industry that you would like to get into, approach companies and see if you can come and do some work experience or some voluntary work and any internships as well, things like that.
So what specific help does the Careers Department offer to graduates?
So like I say, we have a platform online which has a number of different resources covering the graduate selection process. So that covers things like psychometric testing. We run mock assessment centres, help with application forms and CVs as well. So taking students and graduates through every stage of the graduate recruitment process. We also have in our second semester our Get Hired programme, which is a series of support and events for graduates that are looking for a graduate role in what we would say a direct hire capacity. So that would be a role with an employer where you just need a degree, not necessarily. So they're usually sort of the SME, smaller sized employers, where they have jobs that are open, usually tend to open in sort of spring and summer. So from really March in the second semester, graduates can get in touch with us. They can join the programme. They'll get CV support online and then in further detail as well, either over the phone or in person. We can talk about their current job searching sort of methods and where they're looking for graduate jobs, what type of areas are they looking in. We can give them some labour market information as well about the thriving industries in Leeds and the surrounding area in particular, and the types of areas where we know there's a real demand for graduates. So those are things like digital and tech, marketing, education, sales, recruitment. There's a huge demand for graduates in Leeds in those areas, and it's also open to any degree as well, so it's not sort of specific on the type of degree that you've studied.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Leeds' first virtual reality simulator opened this week.
The company behind it aims to promote state-of-the-art technology to push simulation to the next level. Joe Cook reports.
Virtual reality is still relatively new for most people. The technology is massive, and now in the digital age, virtual reality hopes to become more mainstream. The opening of VR simulators in Leeds hopes to play a big part in this.
And based in Leeds, we're such a vibrant city of music, sport, fashion, retail. We might as well add virtual reality on the list. We can raise other venues, other clubs, create online streaming, because we are going online, digital. We are in a technological world, so we might as well experience the fact that this product here replicates driving a stock car, racing car.
Places like this are becoming more and more popular. And now, in the age of technology, people are finding more ways to use this technology, and virtual reality could be seen as the key to this future.
Like for example, with shooting games, you could use them in real for like the military or police or anything. If they needed specific training for something, whether it's armed response officers.
Right now though, virtual reality is very video game centric, and VR simulators take pride in the service they provide. However, they see no reason why the service could be used to train other services.
If VR gets advanced enough, I think it really could help in like medical training, fighter pilots, it's quite a long list really.
At virtual reality simulators in Leeds, Joe Cook reporting for Leeds Hacks.
Leeds United and other Championship football teams ran up a record £307 million in pre-tax losses in the 2017 to 18 season. According to analysis by accountancy firms and football finance experts, the gap is expected to widen further, with more than half the clubs spending more on their wages than they make in income. Leeds Hacks reporter Aidan Kerr has been following the story and joins us in the studio. So, Aidan, what is the deal with these Championship teams then?
Hello Owen. So essentially a lot of Championship clubs at the moment are really breaking the bank in a desperate attempt to try and reach the heights of the Premier League. Spread over about the last 3 or 4 seasons, we're seeing clubs completely outspend their actual revenue in an attempt to reach the top flight of English football. In fact, the revenue of the Championship as a league last season was 750 million, which was its all-time record, and clubs in the Championship were outspending their own revenue on wages and transfer fees by 11%. Wigan Athletic chairman, or ex-chairman should I say, David Sharp, has been very vocal about the issue this week, and he described the Championship as a bubble waiting to burst as clubs completely outspend their revenue to try and break into the Premier League.
So Aidan, is anything being done to combat these issues?
Okay, so this week the EFL, which is the English Football League, which covers the Championship and the 2 leagues below that, they've released a statement and they've said that they're going to try and put together a core group of teams in the Championship and the 2 leagues below the Championship to try and discuss a long-term plan to help the sustainability of clubs in the Championship, League 1 and League 2. But as I mentioned David Sharp earlier on, he believes that clubs will very quickly go into administration if they carry on spending at the rate they're spending. Last season we saw Wolverhampton Wanderers and Fulham, 2 relegated teams from the Premier League, spend almost £100 million between them above their actual revenue. So if teams continue to spend at that rate, Leeds United included, if they stay in the Championship, we are going to see teams go into administration. We are going to see teams drop out of the Football League because they won't simply be able to afford to play in it anymore.
Thank you very much,
No
Aidan.
worries.
People in Leeds are learning more about their African heritage in a new course in the city.
It's aimed at showing the impact Africa had on the world. Nathaniel Dowdy went to find out more.
The sessions are being held at the former Bridge Street Church in Leeds city centre, just walking distance from the bus station. The sessions are 2 hours long and discussion is actively encouraged by the tutors.
Our main aim is to change people's perceptions of African history and African people, what African people have done on this planet. I mean, we've been given a lot of misinformation about the role of African people. At the moment, there are a lot of issues in the commoner public arena that I think people do find it hard to talk about race, and again, that's because of a lot of misinformation.
The course aims to highlight the history and impact of African culture on the wider world, a topic that is often overlooked by European historians.
The last 5 to 6 years, I've been trying to figure out, in terms of my own life, why as a black woman I have not felt accepted in Leeds society. And so I saw this on Twitter and decided I would come to see what this was. And it's a history that has gone on before enslavement, and that's the thing that's excited me about it.
This is Nathaniel Doughty reporting for Leeds Hacks.
A choir in Leeds aims to help mums make friends and find time for themselves.
Singing Mums is a response to research that shows 82% of mums always or often feel lonely. Lucy Hopwood reports.
We're officially on the run-up to Christmas, and Saturday saw the Horsforth Christmas light switch on welcome local singing groups. Recent NHS statistics have shown that 1 in 5 new mums suffer from mental health problems. The Singing Mums Choir invites mums in Leeds to join in with the benefits of singing.
It's basically just a time for mums to get some time to themselves, make some friends, a bit of a social time, and to have a good sing-song, really. It's important for their mental health, I think, to have a break from always having the kids with them, because it's probably the only job in the world where you actually don't get a break ever. Singing is scientifically proven to be really good for your mental and physical health, so it reduces the cortisol in your body, which is the stress hormone.
It's my me time. I have 3 small children. Life is hectic. This is the thing in the diary that is just for me, where I can just go and sing with a bunch of really, really awesome people. Singing just seems to lift your mood. And after you've had a really rubbish day, you can just come and have a cup of tea, have a sing, and it just feels better afterwards.
Children are older, so my nights were getting boring. Sounds awful, doesn't it? I was spending my time on my own. Nobody wanted to, all my friends were married, I'm divorced. And I just thought, I'm going to go spend some time doing something I love.
So if you're a mum seeking a little bit of rest and relaxation, why not pop along to your local group? Lucy Hopwood reporting for Leeds Hacks.
How green is your Christmas tree? Our favourite festive decorations can sometimes damage the planet.
Should you go potted or plastic? Our reporter Henry Whittaker went down to Methley Farm to find out the perfect tree.
In the UK, there are around 8 million Christmas trees bought every year, filling the space in the home during the festive season. But the question is, why is the real tree such a popular option?
Actually now it's very interesting with all the bit in the press with plastic and all the rest of it, that it goes into landfill. You've got 10,000 years for your fake Christmas tree to rot. They don't tend to last particularly long. Research suggests that most people keep them from 3 to 6 years. So there's still a big turnover of them. And for these sites, they're wonderfully green. There's a huge amount of nature in here, from birds, insects, and all sorts of bits and pieces.
With Christmas fast approaching, the trees are flying from their roots. But with the holiday season being a global celebration, there's a variety of trees to choose from.
There's a lot of people for the potted trees. They're growing a lot of blue spruces and Serbian spruces. So they're the main types, but you do get all sorts. There's lodgepoles, the list is endless. And in certain countries, they go for different types of Christmas trees as well. So in the UK, this is what the market is looking for.
With many Christmas tree farms hitting the busiest period of the year, now is the time to get that perfect centrepiece. I certainly know these trees are growing on me. I'm Henry Whittaker, reporting for Leeds Hacks News.
So Owen, have you put your Christmas tree up yet?
Yes, I have. I've got plenty of tinsel, lots of baubles and a cute little fairy on top.
Very nice.
Well, that's all from us today at Leeds Hacks News.
Have a great afternoon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.